Jaya Radha Jamakara Brahman Hira Hari Jaya Guru
Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Maharaj Ki Jai, Nanda Kota Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Jai Hare Krishna Prabhus. It's so interesting to be here in the old temple room of Gita Nagari, and it brings back so many memories. They say that location holds memory and time holds no location holds potency and time holds memory. So we're reading today from Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam 7, 10, 65, and 66. So I'll go through the Sanskrit, and then anyone that would like to also recite the Sanskrit, please go ahead and do so. Ataso Shakti Swabihi Shambho Pradhan Nikan Vyadat Dharma Jnana Virakti Radi Tapo Vidya Kriyati Bihi Ratam Stutam Javan Vaham Dano Vama Shradariyat Snano Dau Ratam Ashtaya Sharam Danhu Upadada Rato So Shakti Bi Swabi Shambho Pradhan Nikam Vridya Dharma Jnana Virat Sriti Tapo Viti Kriya Divi Ratam Shtutam Dhruvan Vanham Dano Vama Shradya Stanodo Ratam Ashtaya Sharam Danu Upadade Ato So Shakti Ba Swabi Shambho Pradhanikam Vidya Dhamma Jnana Vridakti Red Tapo Vidya Kriya Divi Ratam Stutam Divan Vaham Danovaram Shradariya Snanoda Ratam Ashtaya Saram Danu Upadade. If anyone would like to go ahead and
Hare Krishna. Atasa Shakti Swabi Shambho
We're having difficulty hearing you. If you want to speak up a little bit, is that Taraka?
I too am having trouble hearing you.
Okay, I'm turning up my volume now. Is that better?
That's better.
Okay.
There is a illuminated red microphone which should be close to you as far as possible.
I just turned that up as well.
Okay. Atasa Shakti Swabi Shambho Pradha Hare Krishna. Shambho Pradhanikam Vyadat Dharmajana Virak Ridhi Sapo Vidya Kriya Dibihi Vratam Sutam Jam Vahan Danur Varma Sarariyat Sadadho Ratam Ashtaya Sharab Danur Upadade.
Thank you. Anybody else that would like to try this?
Asau Shakti Swabi Shambho Pradhanikam Vyadat Dharma Jnana Virakt Ridhi Tapo Vidya Kriyadibi Ratam Sutam Dvajam Vahan Dhanur Varma Sharadiyat Sanado Ratam Astaya Sharam Dhanur Upadhade.
Thank you. I'm realizing every time I say these Sanskrit verses, I'm actually producing a completely different translation each time with my bad pronunciation of the Sanskrit. Anyway, we'll go through the word for word and then the translation. Ata, thereafter, aso, he, Lord Krishna, Shakti be, by his potencies, Swahi, personal, Jambo of Lord Shiva, Pradhanikam, ingredients, Vidat, created, Dharma, religion, Jnana, knowledge, Virakti, renunciation, Riddhi, opulence, Tapa, austerity, Vidya, education, Kriya, activities, Adibi, by all these and other transcendental opulences, Ratam, chariot, Stutam, charioteer, Divajam, flag, Vaham, horses and elephants, Danu, bow, Vama, shield, Saradi, Adi, arrows, and so on. Yet, everything that was required. Sanata, equipped, Ratam, on the chariot, Ashtaya, seated, Sharam, arrow, Danu, onto the bow, Opadade, joined. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila. Narada Muni continued, thereafter, Lord Krishna, by his own personal potency, consisting of religion, knowledge, renunciation, opulence, austerity, education, and activities, equipped Lord Shiva with all the necessary paraphernalia, such as a chariot, a charioteer, a flag, horses, elephants, a bow, a shield, and arrows. When Lord Shiva was fully equipped in this way, he sat down on the chariot with his arrows and bow to fight with the demons. Purport. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 12, 13, 16, Vaishnavavam Vata Shambhu, Lord Shiva is the best of the Vaishnavas, the devotees of Lord Krishna. Indeed, he is one of the Mahajans, the 12 authorities on Vaishnava philosophy. Shambhu Naradaya Shambhu, Swayambhu Narada Shambhu Kumara Kapilo Manu, etc. Lord Krishna is always prepared to help all the Mahajans and devotees in every respect. Kuntaya Pratijanini Na Me Bhakta Prashanyasti. Although Lord Shiva is very powerful, he lost the battle to the Asuras, and therefore he was morose and disappointed. However, because he is one of the chief devotees of the Lord personally equipped him with all the paraphernalia for war. The devotee, therefore, must serve the Lord sincerely, and Krishna is always in the background to protect him and, if need be, to equip him fully to fight with his enemy. For devotees, there is no scarcity of knowledge or material requisites for spreading the Krishna conscious movement. Megadan tamarandasya janajya jakshaya chaksho ummilitenyana Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mahapisto Sampitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dantikam Kadambikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vrishthaya Bhutale Shmata Bhakti Tirtha Swami Tanamine Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Arastakne Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Bhakti Titinamine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vrishthaya Bhutale Shmata Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tanamine Namaste Sarasvati Deva Gauravani Pisharini Nivashesha Shundavadi Pasha Dakeshatarine. The translation again will actually Narada Muni continued, thereafter Lord Krishna, by his own personal potency, consisting of religion, knowledge, renunciation, opulence, austerity, education, and activities, equipped Lord Shiva with all the necessary paraphernalia such as a chariot, a charioteer, a flag, horses, elephants, a bow, a shield, and arrows. When Lord Shiva was fully equipped in this way, he sat down on the chariot with his arrows and bow to fight with the demons. I thought this was actually a really interesting and very illuminary verse, especially for the time that we're in now, where we seem to be surrounded by so many demons in so many ways. In Satya Yuga, the demons were on different planetary systems. The asuras were on different planetary systems. In Treta Yuga, the demons, the asuras, were on the same planetary system, on the same planets. In Dvapara Yuga, demons appeared within the same families. In Dvapara Yuga is when we had the Battle of Kurukshetra, and we had the Kauravas and the Pandavas all in the same family. So in Dvapara Yuga, the demons appeared within the same families. And in Kali Yuga, the demons actually appear within each person. We all have our own personal demons that we are fighting. So how do we fight the asuras within ourselves? Radhanath Maharaj gives this nice analogy in a number of different lectures that he's spoken, and also in the journey, uh, the journey home. He talks about two dogs when he was in the Himalayan mountains. I don't know if it was Rishikesh, and it's somewhere in the Himalayan mountains, and there were these wild dogs that he was trying to avoid. And he was talking about how in each person there are dogs. There's two dogs. There's and which of the two dogs, the good dog or the bad dog that's within each of us, which one is actually going to be the strongest? Which of those two dogs is actually going to be victorious? It really depends, as Rannath Maharaj says, on which dog we feed. Which dog is the strongest depends on which dog we feed. So we're confronting inner destructive impulses. So this is this is why I thought this verse was so illuminating, in that Lord Shiva he says in Srila Prabhupada says in this in the purport that Lord Shiva was very powerful, but he lost the battle to the Asuras. I'm sorry, this table keeps wobbling. Um, and he was morose and disappointed. Morose and disappointed. And how many times have we lost a battle with our lower nature? We've given in to tendencies that we know are not constructive. We've given in to tendencies that we know are not moving us forward on this path to Krishna consciousness, and we become morose. And we're disappointed in ourselves, we're disappointed in our behavior, we're disappointed in the way that we navigated a particular challenge, or spoke with a particular person, or dealt with a particular situation. So our destructive impulses and our tendencies of greed, of anger, of arrogance, of jealousy, how do we what how do we equip ourselves with the weapons needed to take care of all of these things, um, to combat the asuras within us, and in doing so also equip ourselves to combat the asuras outside of us. It's not that just that we have demons living within us. There are demons around us, and we have we've talked we mentioned this, that we're actually surrounded by very unfavorable environments most of the time. This particular era that we're in, it seems as though all of these negative tendencies have been amplified. So how do we deal with the situations that we find ourselves living in? How do we deal with the situations that are within us? So it means that we need to shift from suppressing these traits to understanding and transforming them. And how do we do that? By cultivating um, the 26 qualities of a devotee. Lord Shiva was 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 aided by he was given these weapons and was situated by Krishna to be able to have the agency to properly defeat the demons. Krishna is giving us the same agency through these qualities of a devotee, and in a mindful and deliberate way, these qualities can help us to equip ourselves with the armor that we need to be able to um, deal with the demons within us and also deal with the demons outside of us. So I wanted to read a little bit about these qualities. Not read all about them. There's 26 of them. I'm not going to go through all of that. But I did want to talk about what they were. And in this book, Satsvarup Maharaj's book, Vaishnav Behavior, one of the um, standard books in every devotee's library, they have this introduction. So while while teaching Sanatana Goswami, Lord Chaitanya described 26 qualities of the Vaishnava. Ripo Aktra Dro Satya Savar Sama Vinosha Swavkam Vandamam Murdu Suchi Akinchana Svapak Akrata Santa Krishnakashrama Akama Anya Shtita Vijatya Sadguna Mitya Buk Apromata Manada Amani Dambiva Karuna Matrai Kavi Daksha Mauni. Devotees are always merciful, humble, truthful, equal to all, faultless, magnanimous, mild, and clean. They are without material possessions, and they perform welfare work for everyone. They are peaceful, surrendered to Krishna, and desireless. They are indifferent to material acquisitions and are fixed in devotional service. They completely control the 6 bad qualities of lust, anger, greed, and so forth. They eat only as much as required, and they are not inebriated. They are respectful, brave, compassionate, and without false prestige. They are friendly, poetic, expert, and silent. I'll read a little bit more. I think I was going to, end at that. It is not, however, that a devotee must work separately to achieve each of these qualities. As Sukadev Goswami explains in Srimad Bhagavatam 6.1.15, only a rare person who has adopted complete unalloyed devotional service to Krishna can uproot the weeds of sinful actions with no possibility that they will revive. He can do this simply by discharging devotional service, just as the sun can immediately dissipate fog by its rays. Just by executing pure devotional service, a devotee attains all good qualities. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna mentions 20 items of knowledge. In the purport, Prabhupada explains unalloyed devotional service as the most important item. If one takes the devotional service in full Krishna consciousness, the other 19 items automatically develop within him. So these 26 qualities that Lord Chaitanya just explained, just listed, can be developed within us simply by putting our attention into our devotional service, simply by performing our devotional service in a sincere, genuine, and loving way, in a way that we are putting our full consciousness in it. Um, and Krishna has made it so easy in this Kali Yuga, in this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, to um, not just get out of this particular situation through chanting the holy name, but also to equip ourselves with the ability to be able to deal with all of the challenges simply by engaging in his devotional service. So we really don't have any excuses. We really do not have any, there's no real wriggle room that, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that, or, it's my nature, whatever. We have been given all of the shortcuts, all of the cliff notes, all of the bypasses to actually succeed, um, on this spiritual journey. We just need to have the desire to want to do that, and to have the determination and the enthusiasm to move forward. And whatever enthusiasm, whatever determination we have can be channeled into our devotional service, and we become successful by simply engaging in this devotional service. We will develop all of these wonderful 26 qualities that have been, I think the word is elucidated. Anyway, but there is still, some things that we can do to help ourselves in this on this journey. So, 5 ways to stay on track as we engage in devotional service and endeavor to purify our desire and align them with Krishna's. So, I thought I'd share these 5 different points that we can think about as we're engaging in our service and our day-to-day, um, on our day-to-day activities, whether we're in the temple, whether we're outside of the temple, whether we are, grahastas or single or in relationships or not in relationships. Everything that we do can be dovetailed into Krishna's service. And so the first one is using mindfulness. Using mindfulness practices to recognize subtle physical signs of when our false ego is rising. We get tight chested when we start to get frustrated. There's a surge of heat. There's an urgent need to win an argument. I sometimes feel that, like, I'm talking with somebody, it's like, hey, I gotta make my point. I've got to get this across. As Srila Prabhupada said, first be conscious before you become Krishna conscious. So first we've got to be conscious of what's going on in our own bodies, how our minds are reacting, how our false ego tends to take over. Let's be conscious of that. And then let's start to recognize when these things are happening, when we're being triggered, when we're in a situation that is making us act in a particular way that we don't really want to act, and we feel like we're being pushed down that. Let's recognize that and let's take a step back. 2, channel the energy instead of um, suppressing the fierce ambition or anger. Transform it into a healthy, constructive drive and determination to do the best service that you can do. Um, when we feel like that we can't sit still, we can't focus, we can't. I actually, it was one of the things that I've started doing is sometimes I feel like I'm pushing myself to do something when I don't really want to do it. And I know that when I'm in that situation, which I used to do a lot. I would just try to just do the service anyway, but I knew that I wasn't doing it with my full consciousness. I wasn't doing it with my full heart. I wasn't doing it with, full love. So now what I do is if that's not what I want to do, I find something that I do want to do, and then I come back to that when I actually really want to dedicate my heart and my energy to it. And I find that when I'm in the mood to do a particular service, For example, cleaning the house. If I don't want to clean the house, I would force myself to clean the house, and get it done. But these days, when I say, okay, I am going to clean the house, or I'm going to change my date, is I do it with a focus. I do it with determination, and the job usually gets done a lot nicer and a lot better. The service gets done a lot nicer and a lot better when I've actually in the focused my energy and my determination to do that. Three, practice contentment. Jealousy and comparison fuel these inner battles. I once read that comparison is the death of joy. And I try to remember that because we have this tendency, somebody's wearing something and it's, that dress is nice. So my dress is nice. Or I have something that looks like that. Or, oh, that person's car looks like cleaner than my car. Comparison is the death of joy. So cultivating gratitude and rejoicing in others' successes is a practical antidote to this toxic mindset. So, um, I always try to begin and end my day in like a gratitude sandwich. Like I wake up and I'm grateful for the fact that I'm waking up. I'm grateful for where I am. At the end of the day, um, I haven't really got into completely the habit of doing a summary of how my day went and how it could improve. And some things sometimes stick out, but I do try to end my day on a grateful note that made it through another day. Uh, So So, and trying to find happiness in other people's successes. What does Bhakti Maharaj say? Fake it till you make it, right? Okay, even if you have to pretend to be happy for somebody else, be happy for them. And the more that you do that, the more it will become a natural thing for you to genuinely want to um, participate in somebody else's happiness and somebody else's success. Four, examine ego and pride. The unexamined life, as they say, is a exactly what is that? Is that a life not worth living? The unexamined life. And so we have this ability to do self-examination, to think about our own actions and to think about how we are showing up in the world. An inflated ego is a source of our misery. So find strength um, in chanting, because chanting is, I also read this somewhere or heard this, that chanting is the backbone of our bhakti, that it is the frame on which our bhakti is draped. And so if our chanting is strong, if our intention around our chanting is strong, if our desire to improve our chanting is strong, then our bhakti also takes on that quality. So find strength in chanting, find the potency um, in this shortcut that Krishna has given us to navigate this Kali Yuga to the chanting of the holy name. Volunteer to serve in serving devotees and others. Um, can volunteering and serving devotees can ground our false ego and allow our real ego and our constitutional position to rise. And so when we're volunteering to and giving of ourselves in a genuine and loving way, when we're serving other devotees, when we are engaging in helping our spiritual masters to move their mission forward, then it is a natural dampening to the false ego, and it gives a chance for us to actually really engage, to really see what our real constitutional position is. And fifth, seek wisdom and guidance. Read, read, read. And if you're not really into reading, there's so many ways that, technology can be used to help us. Listen to audiobooks, listen to lectures. I love having my Bluetooth speaker on, and I find lectures on my phone. and just feed them through the Bluetooth and blast them through the house while I'm working, while I'm cooking, while I'm doing whatever I'm doing. And it becomes, and I also have like a little notebook there too, because there's always something that you're going to hear that you want to write down. So this is a way that you can um, engage in um, constantly engage in the philosophy, constantly bathe your intellect. As is it, who was it that said that? The person that wrote um, Waldham, was it Waldham? That every morning I bathe my intellect in the stupendous knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, that's what we should be doing. We should be bathing our intellect in this information all the time. What is the alternative? The alternative is to doom scroll and to be a pawn in the hands of these media giants that have used their intelligence to be able to distract your intelligence with this nonsense that we are perpetually being fed day in and day out 24/7. So to counteract that, we have to construct our own environment in which we want to live, with the things that we want to hear, the sights that we want to see, the people that we want to be around, the services that we want to do, the activities that we want to be engaged in. We have to create our own environment, a bubble within this bigger bubble, which is within the golden globe of this golden age within the Kali Yuga, um, and the um, create the environment that we want to live in. So in the end, Lord Shiva was able to defeat the Asuras. And it's interesting that the Asuras, the main Asura that was creating, if you go back and I had to go back and read the previous verses of Maya Davana. I was just thinking that Maya, that the demon that was able to create this illusion that confused the devotees and caused Lord Shiva to fail in his mission, that Lord Shiva was able to defeat the illusory power of the demons by equipping himself with the weapons that Krishna gave him. So we too are able to defeat. I mean, what is stronger than the love? What is stronger than love in this universe? What is stronger than Krishna? This is Krishna has created all of this. It's Krishna's illusion. Everybody is serving Krishna in one way or the other. Even the demons are serving Krishna in one way or the other. So by equipping ourselves with the qualities of Krishna's devotees, by equipping ourselves with Krishna's service and with Krishna's holy name, how can we not be successful? How can we not meet these challenges head on and instead of trying to avoid the battle, pass through the battle, like the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was trying to avoid the battle, but Krishna showed him how to go through the battle in the best way. So he's also showing us how to go through the battle that we are on an everyday occurrence in the best way. And talking about Krishna and Arjuna and Battle of Kurukshetra, I just wanted to end with the last verse. I know I should have this. Should have this memorized, but I don't. So I'm going to read chapter 18, text 78. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. That is Sanjay's opinion. That is also my opinion. So I read the translation one more time and open for questions. Let's find this. While I'm looking for the translation, you can also be thinking about what questions you want to ask or what clarifications you will offer. The beauty of technology being used in Krishna's service, right? Wait, am I in the wrong one? Oof. Chapter 6. Oh, sorry. It's chapter 10. Yeah, the beauty of technology when you're using it properly. Okay. Narada Muni continued, thereafter, Lord Krishna, by his own personal potency consisting of religion, knowledge, renunciation, opulence, austerity, education, and activities, equipped Lord Shiva with all the necessary paraphernalia, such as a chariot, a charioteer, a flag, horses, elephants, a bow, a shield, and arrows. When Lord Shiva was fully equipped in this way, he sat down on his chariot with his arrows and bow to fight with the demons. Not before, but after he was fully equipped. He then sat down to fight with the demons. So if there's any questions or comments, I'll check the chat to see. Thank you, Taraka Prabhu, for always putting this, the verse and the translations and everything in the chat so that everybody has access to it. Appreciate it. Actually, when Dhruva said that he caught me trying to escape, I was actually in the temple room. I was thinking, oh, how are we giving class in the temple room when the temple room is full of young adults? But yeah, we set it up here in this in the Muloka Cafe. So coming to you from the Muloka Cafe. This is nice. Does anybody want to share how they armor themselves before going out into the world, or how are they dealing with their own inner asuras, inner demons? Any practices that you have engaged in that help you to resituate yourself in your constitutional position, your proper position as devotees of the Supreme Lord? I talk to myself all the time, so I'm constantly having to beat down my false ego and talk it into submission.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol Prabhu.
Yashodamati, thank you very much for a very nice class. I was actually, it's shameful of me, but I actually was anticipating that you would leave out a critical element, but you did not do that. I'm a little cynical because I so often hear devotees will talk about the 26 qualities of a devotee and various other aspects of Krishna consciousness as being something that one must endeavor for in a separate sort of way, independently of the practice of sadhana bhakti. And but that's actually not how it works. And you explained precisely how it works, that automatically, by the rendering of devotional service, the 26 qualities manifest themselves. And in fact, everything is accomplished in one fell swoop just by the practice of devotional service. There's no necessity to make any separate endeavor. Um, we certainly try to behave ourselves according to the proper sadhachar, but we don't. Um, the effort is artificial, and ultimately it fails if it's not actually backed up by the purification that results from the actual practice of sadhana bhakti. So it's a critical point, and I thank you very much for bringing that out very nicely. Um, I, I was very pleased to hear that. Uh, and as far as my own practice, how I prepare myself for the day, I don't go out into the world as many others do, at least not anymore. I used to, but now I'm unable to. I'm mostly bedbound, so I just lay here. And but nonetheless, I have lots of things to contend with in the course of every day, and I prepare myself for that. And what I do is that I follow the instructions of my spiritual master, who told me to rise early and attend Mangala Artik and hear and chant, attend Srimad Bhagavatam class, worship Srimati Tulsi Devi, and chant a minimum of 16 rounds attentively and without offense, and to study the books and so on. So I do all those things. I have a very intensive program of sadhana that begins early in the morning. I rise very early. I try to get some rounds done before Mangala Artik. That's my most productive time of the day. I have the best energy and I can chant most effectively prior to Mangala Artik. But Mangala Artik is the high point of my day. I never miss it and I'm never late. Um, I can't perform Artik, but I chant. Um, I chant Shri Shri Guru Vashtaka and Hare Krishna. Um, every day I begin precisely on time. Actually, but before that, I begin chanting other prayers. I chant a bunch of my favorite verses that inspire me and instruct me. Um, I chant a chapter of Bhagavad Gita every day before Mangala Artik, and I chant Brahma Samhita as well before Mangala Artik, numerous
Wow.
other prayers. And by the time I get to Mangala Artik, I am extremely jacked up. And then I have an ecstatic Mangala Artik. And by the time I finish with that,
Wow.
I start out in the morning groggy. Many days I don't get enough rest for various reasons. I have a lot of bodily problems that make sleeping difficult. And the past two or 3 days consecutively, I have gotten only 2 or 3 hours of sleep. But by the time I get through Mangala Artik, I don't feel tired at all. I'm a live wire. There's just sparks flying off me, and I uh, I get very excited about hearing Srimad Bhagavatam class. Um, I go through the verse. I prepare to post everything in the chat every day, and I read through all of it, and um, I recite the day's verse a few times so that I don't sound like I'm chanting it for the first time every time I recite it, but I try to participate very fully in Srimad Bhagavatam class. Um,
I'm still trying to get over what you said about your Mangal Arctic is the highlight of your day, the high point of your day. It's that's just such a wonderful thing to hear. Wow. I don't think I've ever heard that before, but it's so wonderful. Thank you, Tarika, for for sharing how you approach your day, how you use your time. Because it's an inspiration for me. I'm sure it's an inspiration for others. Even if we couldn't do every one of those things, maybe just one of those things can help us to um, can help us to to root ourselves in bhakti, to root ourselves in what is actually real in this world of things that is not real. Um, and yeah, and I appreciate your presence here too. It's really important that we have devotees of of your caliber that are in this environment that we have access to by Krishna's grace. That we can not just appreciate and learn from, but the energy that you are creating and putting out into the world just by your presence and by your desire to do these things, because everything is by desire. You have a desire to do these things because you could just, like you said, just lay there and not do anything. Be watching. I don't know if anybody watches TV anymore these days, but you're making a conscious effort to align your desires with those of your spiritual master and with the instructions of Guru and Krishna to better your life and to better the life of those around you. So I appreciate your sharing. And I was just thinking what you said about, going over the Sanskrit um of the verse. And I'm so challenged by Sanskrit, and I have just decided to stop being challenged by it and just. But then when I hear yourself or even Yasudev Prabhu and even Mother Vrajulila, some people that you listen to when they speak, when they chant the Sanskrit prayers, and it's like, wow, it's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful language. It's such a beautiful way of expressing yourself. Why do I torture this language so much you know, when I try to speak it, it just, like I said, every time I say a Sanskrit verse, it's a different translation each time because I'm saying the words differently each time. So, but um, but Taraka Prabhu, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Very- Is there anybody else that would like to share anything? We've got 5 minutes before the temple, the date is are revealed. I'm not sure how that's going to happen because we're not actually in the temple room right now, but Krishna's working everything out. So for those of you that work outside or used to work outside, Hare Krishna. Um, is there anything that you guys do that helps to equip you for um, going into the material energy? I just, because I noticed there are a few people out here that actually work outside. And I was just wondering what you guys do now or used to do, for those that no longer need to go out into the material energy. What do you do to fortify yourselves before you go out? And is there any suggestion or hint that you can give to the rest of us in in that?
Hare Krishna Yashodamai. Thank you for class.
Hare Krishna, thank you for coming through in the flesh for such a short time.
All glories to Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra.
Jai.
So, of course, I've been out of the workforce for a while now. However, when I was in the workforce, and this is no secret, when iFast was at 9th and F Street, um, there was a morning program, Monday through Friday. Oh, actually, Monday through Sunday. And folks that were working would sacrifice and go early to be a part of that morning program. And I think it started off initially like at 7:30, and then it was like 5 or 6, and then finally at 4:30. So that was quite a feat on a daily basis. But you were enthused; you wanted to be there. And what I'm really remembering is that afterwards, you usually went and it was dark, and then when the program was over and everybody would disperse to their various jobs and occupations, you go outside and it was like, I don't know, everything just seemed so surreal. The colors were vibrant. The grass just seemed really, really green. It just really transformed the day. And of course, your mood, of course. So, yeah, we were just very, very fortunate to have that experience and to have you all make that available to us, of being able to associate with devotees, to chant together in the morning. It just made the world just seem more, I don't know, more alive. Um, so, yeah, that's what I'm remembering.
Right.
That, of
Hare
course,
Krishna.
was a great aid, for what you were going to encounter that day on your job. It helped.
Mm. Yeah, well, like you said, we can make things available, but we have to have the desire to want to participate in them and your desire to want to be there and to continue in Krishna consciousness, because there are a lot of people that were coming through the institute that we don't see anymore or that fell away. So the desire to want to actually walk this path, it has to be genuine, authentic desire that you have to follow through. And you're one of the few that followed through. And so, you are experiencing it and gaining um, the results of that, the beautiful results of that, and sharing those two with us now. So thank you. And that kind of makes me also realize that, we are just instruments in Krishna's hands. We are not. Which is why I think actually it makes so much more sense now when Krishna says, you're entitled to your duty, to engage in your duty, but you're not entitled to the results. Because if we engage in our duty properly, then we're simply being instruments for Krishna, and he's the one that the results are his, they're not ours. We're just instruments, we're just tools. So that makes so much more sense. Hare Krishna, thank you. That's my realization of the day. Right. Okay, Prabhu, it's 8 o'clock. I'm not sure if Dhruv is going to rush in here and hold us apart, but I will sign off here. Thank you all very much. All glories to Guru Maharajas, all glories back to Tirtha Maharaj, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jai, Hare Krishna.
Yashoda Mai Devi Dasi Ki Jai. Shoda Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Hare Bol. Hare Bol, Hare Bol. Hare Bol, so what happens with do we take this back into the temple room for Malha? Yeah, okay. We can go. Okay. Yeah. Take this without dropping anything, breaking anything into the 10th row or on the deities.
Krishna, Lord Damodar, Lord Damodar, O ocean of mercy, friend of the distressed, and Lord of the universe, the lover of the gopis, and especially Srimad Radharani. I offer my humble obeisance unto your lotus feet. His Divine Grace Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavindi ki jai. Christian founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki jai. वृंदावन धाम की जय नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय जमुना माई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय शोभवेता भक्तवृंद की जय All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Jai Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Check your seva schedule and please follow that. Thank you.
Joins on Zoom. What's the Nagari community joins on Zoom? Oh, so they can talk afterwards. So they can watch the darshan and maybe. Yeah, they reached the class here. Okay, so we're going to kids have it on. Possibly they're yeah, so there's a stream from it. What's streaming? Yeah, it's streamed on. It's streamed to. They do it on Zoom. It's live streamed to YouTube. Okay.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Ram and Ram was asking. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram. Krishna, Krishna.